Yo, what's going on? This is Mr. Thompson, and this is day 7. I didn't post on day 6, just because the updates ain't different. It's the same thing, just a different day, pretty much. But back out here, up on at Morgan Park High School in front of it. Got Mama Conway holding it down, VOP. Oh, there you go. Oh, well, that's. Watch out. Watch. Come on, she ready for anything. Whoever's striking, she ready for it. She got the colors for it. All right. But so yeah, today we're just closing out the week, and we're optimistic about the weekend. Trying to see exactly we're just trying to see exactly what's going on in regards to like what decisions they're going to make, if we're going to make progress, because we really want to. We really are not trying to hold back from being in the classroom for like to hinder students. We're trying to hold back from being in the classroom because there have been people who have made promises. There's been mayors, there have been upper officials, administration who has made promises. And when people go on strike, they say that they're going to make those promises, make those promises really happen. And then people go back to work. And because they go back to work, that gives the administration more time and opportunity to say, well, never mind, skip that. And that's what happened in University of Chicago. The nurses struck, and I was talking to somebody on that on Tuesday. The nurses struck on Tuesday, and they pretty much now have to go back and strike again because they didn't have a solidified contract before they went back. And so we don't want that. We're not trying to have that. Does it suck that students are missing out on a lot of activities, a lot of extracurricular things that they want to do? Absolutely. Does it suck that this is actually biting into academics and education as far as parents' perspective? Absolutely. Does this suck for as far as administration goes, that like they have to revamp everything and they've got to like sit down and they have to like recreate stuff? Positively. But this is what happens when your supervisors or your districts and your people who are the CEO of the Chicago Board of Education, and you have people who are in the higher ups that took our took our points not really seriously, and they just brushed it off and they waited till the last minute in order to actually look at the stuff and then realize that it wasn't going to work. Well, why is it that we gave it to you earlier in the year? You had time in order to look at these proposals. You had time in order to say, like, this may work, this may not. You had time to sit down with CTU members. You had time. And so strikes only come when the time is now, and we've given you time, right? It's not like, the strike was something random. They had been talking about a strike in like at least in June, if not earlier than that. And so people had to be prepared for that. Admin had to be prepared for that. But most importantly, CPS, like Lori Lightfoot, after she got elected, she had to be prepared for that. And so what she did was, instead of her actually preparing, looking at the proposals, seeing what is something that actually they could compromise with, and what things they can and can't do, or what they're going to address and not address, what they did was they kind of were like, well, we're going to put our proposal out there instead of really accommodating and compromising. And that wasn't going to happen. And so now we're out here today really being optimistic, really trying to just be here and be politically active and participate as much. Now is it always, as you can clearly see, is it always as live as it was on the first days? Absolutely not, because as time goes on, when you're in a protest, whenever you're doing something for a long term, think about this in connection with the Black Lives Matter movement, right? When you first start off, everybody's in it, everybody's for it, everybody's trying to support, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that, everybody's trying to get their face known and recognized, and they want to be in front of the media, and they want to be able to say, they did a part of this and they were a part of that. But actually, when the rubber hits the road, and like when it hits the road for a long time, people start, revamping, and they're like, okay, like, well, maybe I'm going to just start pulling back. And that's where a lot of factions, a lot of protests end up dying. It's not when it's at the beginning, it's when they have to do the long stretch where it's the wait time. And if you're not willing to do the wait time, people end up like canceling out their wait time and actually going back, right? And going back to work. And so then like going back to work, or they're nervous, or they're afraid, or they don't have faith in whatever it is that they have. And what happens is when they go back to work, they work their job, they think that everything's settled, and then what they realize is that the things that weren't written in contract, whereas in there, whatever they agreed upon suddenly disappears, or it isn't exactly what the parameters that they talked about were. Because the only way to make sure that you understand that whatever it is that you all agreed upon and whatever it is that the other side agreed upon are in conjunction with what was told in that meeting is written. It has to be written. It has to be written down. And if it ain't written down, it ain't true. Like 'cause anybody can say anything, right? So that's a lot of legal stuff. Like that's a lot of legal stuff. This is a lot of political stuff. And I'm just hoping that at some point in time we do get this taken care of. But for now, we gotta shut it down as usual. Hopefully we can just build up that momentum, like really hoping that that they have a House of Delegates meeting where they have representatives from both sides. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when they're trying to pass a bill inside of Congress, they get representatives and they get people in order from different sides, or they get like different viewpoints, and they got to see exactly how the bill would work, how the bill wouldn't work, and try to incorporate as many components as possible to appease as many people as possible so that it can pass through. Because if they don't have enough in order to appease CPS and enough in order to appease CTU, it's not going to go, because somebody's like to the point where like somebody's compromising more than the other. It's going to be really hard for that to get passed through. So that's and same thing as when like you're actually trying to make a law or something. Like you got to have something in which both sides can actually agree to, both sides can compromise, and then move on from there. So the House of Delegates meeting is today. We're just hoping and I'm hoping and praying that they do just take a look and really sit down. I'm not saying that they should exactly like bite on everything that they first see, because a lot of times when you rush into a decision, you find out that the decision is not the best decision. And I'm not saying that they should have everything fixed inside of CTU, everything fixed in CPS. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they need to come to a compromise, and they need to pick up issues that they really need taken care of now, and then they can take care of later, just like many of them said. So just hoping that we can get this taken care of, so it doesn't have to stay shut down, because we got a lot of kids that we got y'all to educate, and we got to make sure that you all are not only ready for college or whatever, for high school and for everything, because that's the most important part. All right, so adios. This is Mr. Thompson, aka K-Dot, whatever it is. Mr. T, the place to be. All right, I will check you all out later. Much love, peace, and hair grease. Remember, this is for day 6 and day 7, because I did not video record yesterday. All right, hasta luego.